listening to your auntie's favorite DJ, DJ Tracy Tree.
What the pot? What the pot? What the pot? What the pot?
What's going on, y'all, and welcome back to What the Pod. I go by the name of DJ Tracy Tree, your auntie's favorite DJ, and now your fairy pod mother. So, What the Pod is a podcast that recommends new shows for you to listen to Monday through Friday. You can hear me on the podcast just giving quick recommendations on podcasts that I'm listening to, but Friday I go in for a little bit deeper of a dive. So, I thank you for joining me here this Friday, and let's listen to some podcasts. All right. So for those of you who are just joining us or might be this is your first time on the What the Pod recaps, all week, if you follow me on Spotify, I add lists podcasts to my list. So as you can see here, I got the ones that I've been listening to this week. You can kind of listen along with me. It's usually 3 a day. Sometimes it might be 2, but I really try to aim for 3 a day. So I can start my day with one, or exercise in the middle with one, that kind of situation. Same thing y'all doing with y'all podcast, just using them to fill the day kind of thing. But these are my recommendations. Now on Fridays, I take the opportunity to just go through and go kind of line by line, but kind of hit you with some of my favorites for the week. So let's listen to some together. Now the first one that I want to go over is the Red Table Talk. So the Red Table Talk has been on Facebook Watch for some time now, but they just signed a podcast deal with iHeartRadio. So they'll actually be syndicated on iHeartRadio and the iHeartRadio app. They have other podcasts. I think Jada's mom has a podcast. They're inviting other podcasts inside of their network, the Red Table Talk network, which is exciting because I think Jada's doing something for pop culture that's been needed for a while, just having these open conversations. Regardless of how you feel about her character or her role that she plays in the conversations, it's a cool vibe, right? Come to the table, let's talk. It's that feel good conversation that everybody likes. And then she just brought it to the Facebook Watch platform. Now it's good that I don't know if they're doing the episodes that are the same on Facebook, like they're just syndicating the same show into the podcast. I'm not sure. This is my first time listening in, and it just started. But I love the fact that you can get it on the audio medium, because I'm least likely to go and go on the Facebook and sit there and listen to a 20-30 minute video, even if it's all the clips and it's, August Alsina is on it and Will Smith and all these different people. I just don't have time to sit there and dedicate my time and attention to the video version of it. But for audio, I can put that in the background. Now, this episode is only 40 minutes and 19 seconds. Let me see if I can listen in. I wonder if I shared my sound with this. Let's make sure, add that back to my stream. Okay, it looks like we're good. All right, let's listen in on this one. Might have an ad at the beginning, but I'm probably going to let that play.
Ford is committed to building an ever-evolving lineup of powertrains to meet your needs now.
So for all the
and into
people
future.
who
Check
are
out our lineup
new
of
to my
EVs
podcast, I'm going to turn this ad down just a little bit. Let the ads play on your damn podcast. It's how the podcasters get paid. It's how they keep making money to do the content that you love so much. So let's just let it play. You hear I turned it down a little bit and I'm talking over the ad. Let the ad play, man. This is how they getting their little check. You ain't going, unless you're going to hit it with the Cash App or the Patreon, definitely listen to that.
Features include Ford Copilot 360 assistant.
Now, they're usually a minute, which is a tough one at the beginning of the episode. But hey, even with the business account, you still got to listen to those ads.
Built Ford proud.
When it comes to your body and
all right, we got 2 ads. But for y'all who are just checking, tuning in, I see people are getting on there on social media. I'm on Twitch right now. I'm on YouTube right now. And I'm on Facebook right now. After this, I'm going to put it on my Instagram TV. We're going to listen to a little bit of iHeartRadio, the specific iHeartRadio, of Red Table Talk on iHeartRadio. And it's Gwyneth Paltrow Talk Sex. That's the episode that we're listening in on. And it's based on my watching the Netflix Sex, Love, and Goop with my wife. I wanted to see what Jada had to say, so we're just going to kind of peek in. We're going to jump around the episode a little bit. So thank y'all for tuning in. If you're always looking for new podcasts to check out, always check out my show, What the Pod, Monday through Friday, But on Friday, I do a little something like this, a little something deeper. You can follow me on social media and let me know what you think.
Show the world you've
All
given
right.
fork. Head to simplefeast.com today for $35 off your first meal kit with promo code FORK35. That's simplefeast.com and promo code FORK35.
Dominant Stories is created by Shondaland Audio in partnership with the Dove Self-Esteem
Okay, I'm
Project.
a skip.
Natural. I
And
was
the
like,
show helped you have that conversation?
yeah, because we
absolutely.
would have
Same.
never had a reason to go that
Absolutely.
in depth. But let me ask you, who taught you about sex?
Jada talking to Gwyneth.
You know, I'm old, so we didn't have this kind of openness at all in the culture. I don't know. It just was very sort of like, we
Don't
don't
get
talk
pregnant.
about.
Now, this is how a lot of people feel about the
Don't-
conversation around
yeah,
sex
there
as well.
wasn't a lot of talk about it.
No. Yeah, it
And
wasn't.
so you learn, and it was pre-internet, right? So it was
Yeah.
like we were really siloed in a lot of ways. And I don't think we went naturally to our mothers to talk about it.
Mm-mm.
It's still weird to like, I adore my mother, but I don't know. Like,
I know.
do you guys talk about it?
Let me tell you what's so funny, Gwyneth.
We're about 9 minutes
My
in on this
mother's
episode.
conversation to me was, don't get pregnant.
I don't even think my mom said that.
Yeah,
to me.
yeah.
I also told you that
It wasn't going to be
first time-
enjoyable.
it is
Dang.
not going to be fun.
I think that myth is that's
Debunk.
not okay.
See,
I mean, for
Yeah.
some people, I mean, everyone's body is different. You
Yeah.
that
know,
sound
but
like Willow.
I don't think that you should tell someone it's gonna
How their
be
first
hurtful.
experience is gonna
Right.
be. Yeah.
It might not.
All right, let's
That's
fast
very
forward a little bit.
At their elementary school, by the way, in sixth grade, had the craziest sex ed.
Really?
It was incredible. Full
about
on everything. Like they learned everything. I will never forget Apple's
She must be
face
talking about some kind of
when
new
she
school.
came home and
Oh,
she told
her
them
daughter.
everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything.
Had she not asked you any
Nothing.
questions before? Because
Nothing. No.
wow.
So it just
No,
looks like
okay.
they're talking about their
That's so-
experiences, their kids, how they approach the conversation about sex, how it evolves over time. I do suggest you watch Sex, Love, and Goop if you haven't had a chance to look at that on Netflix. Follow it up with a little bit of Red Table Talk. Jada's always doing a good job of getting keeping her finger on the pulse and knowing what the most pressing things are to talk about. That's a cool thing. They talk about a cool quiz that you can take to go along with it. I won't spoiler alert it, but definitely go check out Gwyneth Paltrow Talk Sex on the Red Table Talk. Brought to you by iHeartRadio. Now, this one I talked about on one of my episodes, and I'm really, really excited to listen in on this one. This one's called Press One Now, and it's a podcast called Operator, which is about the 1-900 like phone sex boom of the 90s, which I'm interested in more as a business side than as like a hustle. But let's just listen into this one, and I'm sure it starts with an ad. So let's see
A quick warning that this series contains adult language and content,
Okay.
including some frank discussions of sex.
Frank.
I got a call about 2:00 in the morning from one of the male supervisors, and he says there are a bunch of men with guns on the property, and we don't know what to do.
Victoria had been working at American Telnet for several years.
Oh my God, it was a
She'd seen her
stick
share
up
of emergencies,
at the call
so
center.
she didn't freak out right away.
And I said, okay, are they police? He says, I really don't know. They're plain clothes. I said, plain clothes suits or, and he goes, no, jeans. He goes, they said they were police, but they're refusing to show a badge.
Ugh,
Victoria's
sound like a
job
robbery.
was managing a big team of phone operators, all crammed into a nondescript warehouse in North Miami Beach. Hundreds of men and women, mostly women, sat in cubicles, headsets on, fielding call after call, day and night. And now, men with guns claiming to be the police
Oh my God.
were trying to get into the warehouse.
Imagine
We had
just
electronic
working
door
at your
access
job at the
codes.
call
Every
center, and
agent,
then
every operator
some
had their
plainclothes
own
people
code.
walking in.
The men didn't have access, and they weren't showing a search warrant. Without a warrant, the operators weren't letting them in. After a while, they stopped knocking. But when an operator opened the door to leave,
Oh
agent was
man,
at
they
the
got
door,
us
and
to
once she
stick
got
up.
the door open, they pushed her on the ground, and the team ran over her back,
the men had been waiting in the bushes.
and they fanned out, and they were looking in files, they were looking for something.
What was they looking
And as quick as they were in, they swooped through, they dug around, and they ran out.
for? Y'all should just let him in.
Victoria was furious. As a supervisor at ATN, she had seen plenty of surprising
This is
things.
not in your job
Sure,
description,
the company may
Victoria.
have skirted right up against a few federal regulations, but the service it provided wasn't against the law. Because the company where Victoria worked, American Telnet, a company with the blandest of names, was actually the largest phone sex operation in the United States.
Love to party? Call Jake by phone now. What turns women on?
Sound like the 90s at 11 p.m.
No rejections, no turn downs. For men only.
The morning after the raid,
All right,
Victoria
y'all.
wanted answers.
That was the beginning of that podcast, and I started from episode 1. I'm gonna listen to the whole series because I need to know the story now. Why did the sex operator podcast start with a robbery? We'll just have to tune in to figure out. So check out that podcast. It's called Press One Now, Operator from Wondery. All right, check that out. Okay, and the last podcast that I want to go over from this week that was like a standout one is another one from the 90s. I guess I was just feeling nostalgia this week, right? So this one is called 90s Court, which I thought was a dope concept. They take 90s nostalgia themed things and put them up against each other, right? So it could be Slinkies versus another toy from the 90s that ended up being trash, right? Like something like that. But for the specific episode that I picked, it was Pepper Ann versus Angela something. Because I was like, who is this person? Angela Anaconda. I don't even know what show she was on. But Pepper
We
Ann.
discussed them, and you're probably thinking, like, does that mean that you guys are gonna?
I know a lot about Pepper Ann.
Put together some like really, really well.
I'm gonna fast forward through here.
With some.
Waterfalls.
Yep.
Such a good
You
song.
crushed it. I'm proud of you.
They might be on the
Yes,
same.
except for Big Mouth Billy Bad bitch ass.
One more.
Blank.
One more.
Oh, ooh.
What Elton John song is the highest
queen.
grossing hit music single of the 90s?
Okay, way to beat Candle in the Wind.
God damn.
She-
Oh my God,
man,
the
I don't want
pictures
no.
of her.
I want Pepper Ann
Chords
top.
overnight. I personally connect mine to my phone each night and listen
Ad.
to some white noise.
Always
Really
listen to the ad
blonde,
stuff.
preppy little brat who always gets what she wants, and she wears a little beret, and she has a stupid fucking little poodle dog named Ooh La La.
What's
I
she
know.
talking about?
Her
it's the
hair is
worst.
out of control too.
Her
by the
hair is
way.
out of control, perfect, because she's
haven't seen
perfect.
Pepper
Her
Ann in
name
so
is
long.
Nanette Manoir.
Oh yeah, this
okay?
is definitely a Pepper Ann.
Get it through
Mais
your
oui.
head, Clodfelter. Oui, oui, ooh la la. Then we have Gina Lash and Johnny Abadi, who are Angela's closest friends.
This is okay. This is Angela.
Johnny is of Italian descent.
I'm
and
looking it up
wears
on my
his hair
phone.
like pompadour style, and he
Mhm.
secretly has a big crush on Angela, and he always picks his
Ooh.
nose, and he always
Oh.
he always shoots spitballs everywhere. Super cool. And then
I
Gina
know
Lash
Angela
is a brainy
Anaconda.
little girl who has a strong appetite.
All right, I'm gonna stop this because I know who Angela Anaconda is, and for y'all who I can't pull this up on, let me see if this will work. I'm gonna hold it up for the people who looking on the video. All right, that actually pulled up really well. So that's Angela Anaconda. I never watched this show. I always thought it was weird that it was like a cutout lady and they were animating the cutouts. Pepper Ann is definitely better than this show. I don't even know what the concept is, but in 90s Court, I'm gonna finish listening to the episode. It's a little bit long, a little bit over an hour, but Pepper Ann, my school cover is 7th grade. Nowhere's cooler than Pepper Ann. Come on, stop. Quit playing with me. One Saturday morning. So that's my 3. That's my 3 for this week that I wanted to cover. You can always, again, follow this list on Spotify. I'm going to add this podcast to my podcast feed. Y'all, show me some love. You know, every single week I'm giving podcast recommendations. If you follow me on TikTok, Instagram, any of those things. And let me know on social media what kind of podcast you want me to cover. You know, true crime has been blowing up on my page. Business too. Fitness has been going up. So definitely go to my page, like, follow, share, subscribe, all that joint. You know, just if you want to keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening in the podcast world and what's some cool and fun podcasts to listen to, you know, I got you. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to What the Pod recaps on this Friday. Y'all have a great weekend, and I'll see you right back here next week. It's DJ Treese.